Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Longing. Tonight we're going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So, let's get cracking on that. Oh, a little too far. Bum-ba-dum. So they, while down their cheeks the torrents roll, but fixed remains the purpose of his soul. Resolved he stands, and with a fiery glance expects the hero's terrible advance. So rolled up in his den the swelling snake beholds the traveller approach the brake. When fed with noxious herbs his turgid veins have gathered half the poisons of the plains. He burns, he stiffens with collected ire, and his red eyeballs glare with living fire. Beneath a turret on his shield reclined, he stood and questioned thus his mighty mind. 275. Where lies my way to enter in the wall? Honour and shame the ungenerous thought recall. I forgot about the idle reading. Shall proud Polydamas before the gate proclaim his counsels are obeyed too late, which timely followed but the former night? What numbers had been saved by Hector's flight, that wise advice rejected with disdain? I feel my folly and my people slain. Methinks my suffering country's voice I hear, but most her worthless sons insult my ear. On my rash courage charge the chance of war, and blame those virtues which they cannot share. No, if I e'er return I must, glorious my country's terror laid in dust. Or if I perish, let her see me fall, in field at least, and fighting for her wall. And yet suppose these measures I forego, approach unarmed and parley with the foe. The warrior shield, the helm and lance lay down, and treat on terms of peace to save the town. The wife withheld, the treasure ill detained, cause of the war and grievance of the land. With honourable justice to restore, and add half Ilion's yet remaining store. Which Troy shall sworn produce that injured Greece may share our wealth and leave our walls in peace. But why this thought, unarmed if I should go? What hope of mercy from this vengeful foe? But woman-like to fall, and fall without a blow, we greet not here as man conversing man, met at an oak or journeying o'er a plain. No season now for calm familiar talk, like youths and maidens in an evening walk. War is our business, but to whom is given to die or triumph that determine heaven? Thus pondering like a god the Greek drew nigh, his dreadful plumage nodded from on high. The Pelian javelin in his better hand shot trembling rays that glittered o'er the land, and on his breast the beamy splendour shone, like Jove's own lightning or the rising sun. As Hector sees unusual terrors rise, struck by some god, struck by some god, he fears, recedes and flies. He leaves the gates, he leaves the wall behind. Achilles flows like the winged wind. Thus at the panting dove a falcon flies, the swiftest racer of the liquid skies. Just when he holds or thinks he holds his prey, obliquely wheeling through the aerial way. With open beak and shrilling cries he springs, and aims his claws and shoots upon his wings. No less foreright the rapid chase they held, one urged by fury, one by fear impelled. Now circling round the walls their course maintain, where the high watchtower o'erlooks the plain. Now where the fig trees spread their umbrage broad, a wider compass smoke along the road. Next by Scamander's double source they bound, where two framed fountains burst the parted ground. This hot through scorching clefts is seen to rise, with exhalation steaming to the skies, that the green banks in summer's heat o'erflows, like crystal clear and cold as winter snows. Each gushing fount a marble cistern fills, whose polished bed receives the falling rills. Where Trojan dames, ere yet alarmed by Greece, washed their fair garments in the days of peace. 276. By these they passed, one chasing, one in flight. The mighty fled, pursued by stronger might. Swift was the course, no vulgar prize they play. No vulgar victim must reward the day. Such as in races crown the speedy strife, the prize contended was Hector's great life. Was great Hector's life. As when some heroes' funerals are decreed, in grateful honour of the mighty deed. Of the mighty dead. Where high rewards the vigorous youth inflame, some golden tripod or some lovely dame. The panting coursers swiftly turn the goal, and with them turns the raised spectator's soul. Thus 3 times round the Trojan wall they fly, the gazing gods lean forward from the sky, to whom, while eager on the chase they look, the spire of mortals and immortals spoke. Unworthy sight, the man beloved of heaven, beholding glorious round yon city driven. My heart partakes the generous Hector's pain, Hector whose zeal the whole hecatombs has slain, whose grateful fumes the gods received with joy from Ida's summits and the towers of Troy. Now see him flying to his fears resigned, and fate and fierce Achilles close behind. The yawning's got me today. Consult, ye powers, 'tis worthy your debate, whether to snatch him from impending fate, or let him bear by stern Pelides slain, good as he is, the lot imposed on man. Then Pallas thus shall he whose vengeance forms the forky bolt and blackens heaven with storms, shall he prolong one Trojan's forfeit breath, a man a mortal preordained to death. And will no murmurs fill the courts above, no gods indignant blame their partial Jove. Go then, returned the sire, without delay, exert thy will, I give the fates their way. Swift at the mandate, pleased Tritonia flies, and stoops impetuous from the cleaving skies. As through the forest o'er the vale and lawn, the well-breathed beagle drives the flying fawn. In vain he tries the covert of the brakes, or deep beneath the trembling thicket shakes. Sure of the vapour in the tainted dews, the certain hound his various maze pursues. Thus step by step where'er the Trojan wheeled, there swift Achilles compassed round the field. Oft as to reach the Dardan gates he bends, and hopes the assistance of his pitying friends, whose showering arrows as he coursed below, from the high turrets might oppress the foe. So oft Achilles turns him to the plain, he eyes the city, but he eyes in vain. As men in slumbers seem with speedy pace, one to pursue and one to lead the chase. Their sinking limbs the fancied course forsake, nor this can fly, nor that can overtake. No less the labouring heroes pant and strain, while that but flies and thus pursues in vain. What god, O Muse, assisted Hector's force, with fate itself so long to hold the course? Phoebus it was who in his latest hour endured his knees with strength, his nerves with power. And great Achilles, lest some Greeks advance, should snatch the glory from his lifted lance, signed to the troops to yield his foe the way, and leave untouched the honours of the day. Jove lifts the golden balances that show the fates of mortal men and things below. Here each contending hero's lot he tries, and weighs with equal hand their destinies. Low sinks the scale surcharged with Hector's fate, heavy with death it sinks, and hell receives the weight. And with that, we come to the end of the episode. So I will say thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.